Hello, everybody. Hello, beautiful, shining, bright stars. Welcome to our channel, Stella Nova. I'm Lana, and this is my loving, loving star partner, Bianca.
Hello, you beautiful stars.
So, here at Stella Nova, we talk about the art of freedom. So, everything that we want to do and practice to break us from all that traps us in the world, all the worries, all the fears, and so we can live ourselves to our fullest expressions and be free. So, Bianca, I had looked at a post on Instagram just a few days ago, and I'm looking it up right now, and I want to share it with people because it really kind of um, connected to me. Uh, and when I reshared the post, I got so many people also really liking the post itself, and I'm gonna read it out. It says, in shamanic cultures, the medicine person would ask, when did you stop dancing? When did you stop singing? When did you stop being enchanted by stories? When did you stop being being comforted by the sweet territory of silence?
Wow, it's really beautiful and really powerful. And I think there is a lot in there that we can share and that we can talk about. I
Yes.
mean, I remember my childhood when I felt like pure and everything was possible. And you felt like no one was judging, because who judges a child that falls, for example? No one, right? You're
Hmm.
learning to walk, you're learning to stand, and it's all good. And you are allowed to fall. There is no expectation for you. There's a lot more freedom. And then as we grow up, we get told to sit still, for example, not to talk too much, not to talk too little, sit at school, draw pictures of a branch of a tree instead of just being crazy with our colors.
Yes, and it's so amazing that you connected this to the inner child because well, that's how I connected to myself, is that as children we're there, we're singing, we're making up songs, we're dancing all around, and I thought that those questions were very powerful because it's like kind of asking is like, when did you connect to that creative self, that expressive creative self, where you sing, where you dance, um, and where you can just be to do all of that. um, it also connected that when I'm feeling a little sad or down, I like to listen to music, and I like to do a karaoke with it, and I like to sing along that I'm singing, and it helps bring up my mood. And when I read when I read this post, I said, okay, then why don't I deliberately like remind myself whenever I'm feeling sad or down that I will start singing to change the energy within me, okay,
Yeah,
and dance, um just to bring it up, just to really express. So I'm expressing how I'm feeling with my voice. Okay, I'm
yeah,
expressing how I'm feeling with my body. I'm just gonna move with it, and and bring it up to life. So I really, really was thinking that singing and dancing can be like a therapy in a way to
Yeah.
uplift your mood.
Yeah, exactly. And the beauty is it gets you out of your head, you know, it gets you out of thinking. It gets you into the experience of your body. And what I feel like is that for many people, that's one of the toughest things to do because we tend to overthink everything.
Hmm.
You know, we tend to think about, oh, for example, that meeting tomorrow where I have to do a presentation, what if everything goes wrong? And then actually you go to that meeting, to that presentation, everything goes right. And you spend all of that time worrying. So
Hmm.
I think this could be just an awesome strategy to say, you know what? Instead of thinking about something that has not yet happened, I'm going to connect to my body and I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, or I'm going to draw, or I'm going to play, or whatever it is for you that gets you out of here and it gets you into everything else.
Yes.
Because the head is what, like 10% of our body, and we tend to use that as our full resource.
Yes, absolutely. And our whole body is experience everything, everything in life. It's not just our minds. Our minds are just there to create thoughts, but it is about our whole body getting to experience every emotion that we're feeling, uh, and every dream that we want to accomplish. We all feel it in our bodies. Like when we feel excited, we feel it in our stomachs. When we feel nervous, we also feel it in our stomachs too. So it's the feeling that's coming in that full body. So why not bring the full experience, like you said, fully, not just in our minds, not up here in our heads, but all the way down to our neck, to our shoulders, to our fingertips, and do some jazzy movements. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, so when was the last time did you sing, Bianca?
When did I sing? Oh, yesterday in the car on my way home after work. That's when you always catch me singing. It's like on the radio, in the car, after work.
Yes. Do you tend to make up songs and lyrics?
Mostly I tend to sing along actually. But good point. I like that idea. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna tune down next time the volume and I'm gonna be like, yay!
Yes. I have this thing that I've kind of uh, taken with me since childhood, is that I like to sing out what I'm doing and what I'm feeling. And I do that, like I do that while I'm walking with my dog. I even create songs for him. I do that when I'm walking out in the nature and I'm feeling stuck in some thought and some idea or some feeling, so I start creating words and just singing it out there. And yes, I'm saying this out in public. Yes, I make up my own songs.
Yeah,
And just,
great way. Yeah.
yes, and just being, just feeling it. um and sometimes I come up like with like, oh wow, that sounds really beautiful and sounds really amazing. I like instantly I was like, forget it. I was like, okay, whatever. It made me feel good at that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's a beautiful way to move energy, like to get stuff out of your head. It's like the same when people write poems. It
Hmm.
feels similar. You know, it's just about getting the energy of whatever you're feeling and experiencing out there in a creative way of expression. You know, for you, it's singing. I love to just write about, I don't know, pink elephants if I like to. You know, just write it down and get creative and write inspiring stories. Just be in that little, like, get out what you need to get out of the moment and then be in that inspired dream state where you're like a child. Nothing is too crazy or nothing is too impossible. And that's when you instantly change your own energy to something much higher than when you were thinking and concerned about what's going on right now. It opens up a door to infinity.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I mean, everything that we do is that, actually, let me rephrase that. Uh, when we want to open up the creative side in our minds, like you said, and like open that door to infinity, the way to do that is to practice things that we used to do, or we started doing as children, which is like singing, dancing, drawing, creating stories, playing, anything that we would do with our hands, or anything that would create some form of art. And that really helped us to connect to our studies. It helped us to learn. And I noticed that through time, or growing up in school, we stop having song. We stop
Yeah,
having like express yourself with art, and express yourself with your body, express yourself with sound. um, we stop having that. And I feel that that part kind of made learning not as fun as it used to be.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And I really think that there's so much importance in creating, like in just creating, in just tapping into that 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 inner child that loves music, that loves to sing, that likes to
yeah,
dance, that likes to connect. Um, and where we can have our creative side expand. we can
yeah,
also we can also connect to ourselves even true on a deeper level, so it's not just thinking. So we connect to ourselves emotionally, and our body is also connected to the emotion too. We can bring fun into the atmosphere. um, we have learning into the atmosphere. There's so much benefits in this
yeah,
singing, dancing, drawing.
yeah.
Yes. And what about the last question about being, enjoying the silence and
Mm,
being in the space of silence? 'Cause we talked about dancing and movement and just
yeah,
expressing out there. What about that space of silence?
yeah. I think it's not exclusively either or. Like when
Mhm.
you say about silencing, always meditation comes to my mind. And what I'm though learning and experiencing recently that I feel might be interested for a few people is that all of these things are already there to create silence in your mind, to help you get rid of everything else that is not needed right now. And meditation doesn't mean that you need to be sitting still for half an hour and trying to push your minds away. It's
Mhm.
not that. It's about finding a way that works for you, and that might as well be creating a piece of art, that might as well be dancing out in the woods and moving and doing that. It's pretty much everything that helps you to tune down the voice of your mind. And that is as individual as we are.
Yes.
So there is no one form of meditation. There's 1,000 forms, and everyone is allowed. That's another thing. It's like sometimes we think about the one thing and how everyone else has defined it,
Yeah.
and we think this is what it needs to be for us, and this is what needs to work for us. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you meditating means putting, when we used to play in sandboxes when we were a child, maybe it's putting a sandbox in your garden, and playing with sand. That might
Yes.
be your meditation.
Yes,
That might be.
absolutely. And from what you're saying is that silence does not have to be a complete silence, exterior. It can be that inner silence. When you said the voice in your head, and like for me and probably other people, it's more than one voice in the head. So it's like
Yeah, same.
voices going on in the head. And like you said, just being able to practice what we love
Yeah,
and channeling our thoughts and our tensions and our focus in that practice helps quiet down all the other voices that would be that want to speak in the background, but with doing what we love and putting our focus into it, we quiet
yeah,
down those voices and we get to sit in that uh, in
yeah,
that silence of the voices that worry and that constantly bring out fear and um, also doubt. The, we want those voices to quiet down. Everybody has those voices.
yeah,
I have these voices, and I think every human being on earth would have these voices, and it's up to us to adopt the practices that
yeah,
that we want to quiet down these voices, to give
yeah,
ourselves a rest and a peace of mind of, okay, these voices are not serving me. Let me do
yeah,
something that would serve me. And like you said, meditation is not just that one way or that form where you just sit down and just go, for hours. Uh, it is really about just bringing in and channeling all your focus and all your attention into that one thing, sitting down, crossing your legs, and putting your attention into breathing. That's one part. Going out running is a way of meditation. Drawing is a way of meditation. Cooking is a way of meditation. I also think even serving others,
yeah.
like putting that intention of helping someone, and like, I'm gonna go help that someone, that's a form of meditation as well.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, and as you say, we really do all have these voices. And what I'm experiencing though is that when you start worrying, for example, let's say you have a problem and you're rolling that over in your mind, trying to find a solution. Actually, what happens is you will not find the solution the same way that the problem was created. And that
Oh
was
yeah.
probably created by overthinking your own or by someone else's. So, what I'm experiencing is when you can quiet your mind and drop into your whole body, there's going to be some solution that for sure you would not have thought about while you were thinking about it. So, something that comes out of the depth of your body, of your heart, that is much more creative because then you're not connected to the limitations of the left side of the brain, right?
Mhm.
The left side is the one that is analytical, that is overthinking. It's also the verbal one. Whereas the right one is the creative one, the dreamer, the inspirational one. And that can really only talk, it not always, but mostly when the other one is quiet,
Mhm.
because we learn in school to tune more into the left one. The left one gets, so to speak, more attention. So it's easier to access. And
Mhm.
then it takes training to access the other side of your brain, the other part.
Yes, absolutely. That the training on quieting down the left side of the brain. Actually, this is my left, and and training that right side. And yes, training that right side of the brain, the creative side, is what we've talked about in the beginning of this episode, where do creative things. And and I also want to say and leave a note is, yes, when you're doing these creative things, let go of the outcome. It doesn't have to sound pitch perfect. It doesn't have to sound uh, rhyming or melodic. It doesn't have to look beautiful and the colors are perfect and the shapes are right and or whatever. Anything that you are creating with your hands, with your voice, with your pen, it doesn't have to be perfect, because when we
Yeah.
focus on that, oh, it has to be perfection, then we jumped from the right side of the brain back to the
Yeah.
left side, thinking about the analytical stuff, the one,
Yeah.
two, threes of how things are, and then we go back into worrying. But really, let's focus on letting go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? That's why I actually admire artists so much. And if you think about the past,
Hmm.
actually, I can't put you a specific name, but I'm sure, and I've heard about stories of artists where, they got famous after their death because they were hiding all their arts, for example, in their basement, because they weren't able to let go and to show it to anyone, right? I don't necessarily want to say that you, if you create something, have to show it to anyone, but it's more about bringing your creative expressions to life.
Hmm.
And then if you feel called, then also bring it out there and stop this. It's the voice of judgment and comparison. And the main thing is there to really remind yourself who is judging and comparing. Because before the others are judging and comparing, we are judging and comparing. So
Yes.
if we were to stop that, we don't know how others are going to react. There will be some that love it, there will be some that dislike it. That's just how it is. So
Yes, with
why not move
everything.
up for those who are going to love it?
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. We focus on those who are gonna love it. We don't love everything uh, around us. Like, we all have different tastes and different colors that we like, different feelings that we like. Different feelings that we have towards things, and this is just on us. So how do we want to expect everybody in the world to like what we are expressing or we're
Yeah.
creating? And yes, it's so important. Once we eradicate self judgment,
Yeah.
then we're able to express ourselves
Yeah.
the way we're meant to,
Yeah.
and sing in public and dance,
Yeah.
and do a little shake and act the way we want and act
Yeah.
as crazy as we like.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, we're all unique. Everyone is going to express it in a different way. And not everyone is going to be out in public and dancing and shaking, and that's okay as well. It's more about who are you and who do you want to express, like how do you want to express yourself, and how much, actually, for how much longer do you want to allow others to put these limitations on you.
Yes.
Actually, it's yourself, it's yourself waiting for others to limit you, you know
Yes.
and it's like the placebo effect. If you go out and you're thinking about, oh, actually I want to be dancing, but no, what if my neighbor judges me?
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't actually care because he's got his own stuff going on anyways? Like, we
Yes.
always think actually we're the most important, everyone is going to look at us and everyone is going to care about us, and that is also not true. you know Actually, the more we free ourselves from that, the more inspiration we're going to be to others. And that's what we want to do here. We want to create that freedom to create your own unique expression. At the end of the day, you are different than myself, Lana, and I'm different than everyone else, but we're trying to fit in with everyone else.
Mhm. Yeah. I feel like nowadays that we're kind of getting out of fitting in,
Yeah.
because fitting in. It's like buying a shoe that's smaller than your foot,
Yeah,
and you're just like forcing and jamming your foot in, and you're walking with your toes all
yeah,
tied up.
exactly.
It hurts.
It does. Yeah,
Yes, it hurts to force yourself to just to fit in.
yeah,
Yes. And
exactly.
um and that's one thing. It's like, yes, we don't need to fit in. We don't need to care about what other people are going to be judging us. And we don't need to judge ourselves either,
Yeah.
just to fit in, to have people not say any, uh, let's say, distasteful comment towards us. Uh, so what?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Just so what? Go and do it.
Yeah, exactly. And in my experience, those people that are judging are those people most unhappy in their lives because they are going to judge everything and they're going to be unhappy about everything. So stop making everything about you. You know,
Mhm.
like if someone has a really bad day, what are they going to do? They're going to look at you weird, or they're going to project some of that on you, right? But it actually has zero, absolutely nothing to do with you. It
Yes.
is their projection of their own feelings, their own experience. I'm sure every one of you knows people that are always complaining. Doesn't matter if the sun shines, they complain. If it rains, they complain all the time. So it has much more to do with them than with the actual weather or with the person that they're complaining about.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about how they're feeling inside. So when we are feeling happy, we just be we're just happy and all over the place and probably giving compliments everywhere, and it's
Yeah,
all about how we're feeling inside. And when we're not feeling, when we're feeling on the lower vibration, okay, or lower vibration emotions like sad or angry, is that we also do project that, you know,
yeah,
that we would,
exactly.
if we're angry and it starts raining, we won't be like, yay, it starts raining. We'll be even more angry. And uh, even if the sun starts coming up and we're still angry, we wouldn't even care that the sun is up,
Yeah,
because we are in our emotions. And that's how everybody is too, that everybody's in their own emotions, and we cannot take things personally because it's all them.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
all about them.
exactly. At the end of the day, we're just mirrors for each other. You know, like once you start putting out a vibration of love or higher, you know, love, joy, and peace, you
Hmm.
will recognize that you're going to meet less people who are complaining and who are negative because you're not focused on that anymore, you know?
Yes.
So by you shifting into a different space, you actually help shift others and you're actually attracting those people who fit in with you.
Hmm.
If you're a complainer, then that's what you're going to get, that's what you're going to see in others. And it's a choice you can make in every moment. You can make that choice to be love and act love and react with love,
Hmm.
or you can choose not to.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So we are towards the end of our episode for today. Um, please, 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 we love for you to hear us and to hear what we are all about and what we want to share with the world. And we want to hear from you. We want to know what you guys think about these episodes. We want to know what you want to hear us talking about here at Stella Nova. And please, please, please subscribe. We have a Facebook community, Stella Nova, The Art of Freedom. You can search us on Facebook, or you can see the link below to uh, join our community, and please subscribe.
Yes.
Yes.
We want them to be active. We want you to tell us your stories. We want to be inspired by your stories as well and growing with you alongside. So please join us and leave your comments. And we're sending you so much love and peace and joy and happiness.
Yes.
Mm.
Mwah. See you later.
You guys.